directly from the students of Airwaves Media. Bringing you news in and around Alma High School. You're watching the Airedale. Welcome to the Airedale. I'm Evan Shibley.
And I'm Ben Mitchell.
Today we'll be talking about the ACT Aspire, graduation, community service hours, plus much more coming up on
the Airedale.
The ACT Aspire is coming up for upcoming freshmen and sophomores, and is a kind of precursor to the ACT test that students will take in their junior and senior years. Joseph Lynn and Cole Howard looked into the ACT Aspire test at Alma High School.
At the end of every school year, there's an ACT Aspire test to help evaluate students' growth and help prepare students for their next year of school.
The ACT Aspire is the state-mandated testing that all students take in grades 3 through 10 in Arkansas. We take it for 9th and 10th graders. It's called the Early High School Test. You take it in reading, writing, English, math, and science. And we take it in April 17th through the 20th.
There are many ways to help you pass the ACT Aspire test, such as a practice test and the Performance Arts Center, which can allow you to simulate what the actual test will be like.
Every day in school, you're preparing for the ACT Aspire. Everything that you learn could possibly be on the test. So every day you are practicing for this. We are also doing little tips and tricks sessions in the Performing Arts Center during 3A. We've done it last week and we did it today, and we'll have a mock testing day next Monday, just showing you little tips and strategies on how to take the specific ACT Aspire test.
The ACT Aspire test shows you how smart you are, which can help boost your self-esteem or tell you what you need to improve on.
It's important to show off how smart you are, to show off what you've learned. It also shows the school what we need to work on, what we're doing well, so we can see an individual student's performance and we can see the performance as a whole.
This is Cole Howard and Joseph Lynn from Airwaves Media.
In the past few years, the school system has become more and more dependent on online assignments on the school-issued Google Chromebooks. Dane Barker and Levi Stringfellow posed the question, what would our school look like if we didn't have them?
We asked our fellow peers about what they think high school life would be like without Chromebooks.
It would certainly be a lot more difficult, because if we had still do things online, we would have to go to a different room to be able to do those kind of things.
We asked a fellow student why he appreciates having the privilege to use Chromebooks.
Because it gives me more resources to, get my answers from.
We then asked how often he uses his Chromebook throughout the day.
I'd probably say out of the 6 classes that I have, probably out of 4 classes I'm on them, about every class period.
Finally, we asked him about the various ways he utilizes his Chromebook.
I think it does have some advantages. Finding resources is a lot easier whenever you can look it up.
This has been Dane and Levi with Airwaves Media.
With the school year approaching its end, seniors are ready to graduate and juniors are ready to begin their final year of high school. Gemini Shong asked the juniors of Alma how they feel about them becoming seniors come the end of this summer.
Soon we'll be getting ready to see the upcoming seniors for 2024. So how do they feel about being seniors after all their hard work and dedication? I talked to some juniors that are going to be seniors to get their thoughts on how they feel about being seniors for 2024.
Super excited about it. It's my last year of high school. I get to, go out in the world and explore afterwards, and I'm super pumped about it.
I feel like this is my year, perfect class, I wouldn't want to be in any other graduating class.
It'll feel great because I'll accomplish high school and I'll get my high school diploma.
I'm pretty excited to graduate with the people that I'm graduating with. I mean, I've literally spent most of my life with them as of this point.
We're ready to go to college, and that's kind of like the first steps you take towards independence. It's a big moment, so I'm very excited to walk across the stage and graduate.
I'm very proud of every junior who's made it far to become seniors of 2024. I wish the best of luck to all of them. This is Gemini Shong from Airways Media.
Our bus drivers have a very important job of getting students to school and then safely home. Stetson Goodson followed a bus driver on her round and got a first-hand look at what being a bus driver is all about.
A bus driver comes with many responsibilities. One of the primary tasks is getting students safely to and from school, yet there's a lot more to this job.
So my job is mainly to transport students to and from their homes and to the schools, but we also clean and maintain the buses. We check them before every single route to make sure that they're mechanically sound, they're not going to break down, or we're not going to have any safety issues. We also do a lot of trips, and we do field trips, so we take the students on field trips.
There are many aspects to being a bus driver that are beyond just picking up and dropping off students.
Sometimes it can be a little scary. We've had people that were not happy with us, and they're not always really nice about it, and sometimes they can be rather aggressive, or the weather is being aggressive.
If you're interested in being a bus driver for Alma, you have to have a Class B CDL with a bus driver endorsement among the usual requirements to work under a school district. This has been Stetson Goodson from Airwaves Media.
As a sort of going away party for seniors, the parents of Alma have organized a celebration called Project Graduation, where graduating seniors win prizes and play games. Ben Mitchell asked around to find out more.
Project Graduation is an event hosted by the Alma parents as a fun way to send off the seniors.
Project Graduation is an event that's held after commencement. It lasts most of the evening. It's all put on and sponsored by parents of seniors.
There's also a cash incentive to go.
Lots of gifts are given away, cash prizes, all-you-can-eat foods from different vendors. It's of no cost, usually about an hour and 15 to 20 minutes after commencement is over. You meet in the student union, and we take buses to the location, and that's so you don't have to transport yourself. You have to ride the bus. The bus brings you back. It's just a fun time that really is low cost.
Along with all of that, the group that hosts Project Graduation also hosts car shows, craft fairs, and general fundraisers for the event. This has been Ben Mitchell with Airwaves Media.
The seniors of Alma are about to go on to live life after high school, but before they do, they attend the graduation ceremony. Michael Farrell and Zach Miller find out more information about graduation at Alma High School.
Graduation is coming up soon here at Alma High School, but what do you need to do to prepare as a senior? Seniors will be sent an email in the following days about all of the information regarding end-of-the-year events, including graduation. Some of this information will also be on social media, so make sure you're following the official Alma pages to get this information.
Some of that information will include graduation practices, end-of-year exam information, seniors' last day, commencement.
The gowns and caps were delayed by Jostens, but they should be in plenty of time for graduation.
Cap and gown delivery got delayed a little bit, and that was a Jostens shipping issue.
Our administration wants to make sure that everyone knows that no air horns or noisemakers are allowed at graduation.
Well, as far as information for parents, when I send that message out with all the time slots, that will be sent to seniors and parents of seniors.
Make sure to check your emails and the official Alma School District page to find out more information about graduation. This has been Michael Farrell with Airwaves Media, signing off.
This year at Alma, seniors have an opportunity to earn a community service credit so long as they have 75 documented hours. However, the class of 2026 will need those 75 hours in order to graduate. Sarah Nuck talked about the importance of community service and how it's something students should be a part of.
75 community service hours will be required for the class of 2026 to graduate, but that's not the only reason why community service is important. Community service is a great way to give back to the city of Alma. ROTC Commander Raymer explains why it's important to have these hours.
So it kind of paints a better picture for a more well-rounded individual who's not just interested in themselves, such as their GPA and their ACT scores, but also the world around them by providing community service.
You can also get these hours outside of school by volunteering at many organizations in and around Alma.
One of the biggest is the Community Outreach Center, which is an organization that provides food to low-income families in the area. Other opportunities are the Boys and Girls Club in Alma. Any of the churches in Alma are quite frequently places where students participate in community service. And one of my favorites are some of the animal shelters who are always looking for people to walk and care for the animals there.
I'm Sarah Nutt with Airwaves Media.
The school year is coming to an end, and Destiny Wheeler took a look on how to end the year off with a bang.
The year is coming to an end. Only 2 months left and we'll all be out. But how can we end the year off with a bang?
I talked to Miss Parham to tell us how.
During the end of the school year is always very difficult to end in such a positive note. It's springtime and we're ready to get outside. There are many, many athletic events as well as educational events. Keeping students' grades up is really challenging for both teachers and students to help them achieve their best at the end of the year.
Okay, so you need to keep your grades up, but how can we do that when we can barely stay focused on our work? Here's Miss Dickens to tell us how to stay motivated.
Some of the things that I think that students can do that would benefit them in their grades and just staying on task is like, you know, pace yourself. Like if you know that you're going to be gone for a different school activity or something, maybe get a calendar or kind of make some kind of organization for yourself to keep up with what you're going to need to do and turn in for different
I'm Destiny
classes.
Wheeler with Airwaves Media.
With severe weather coming up, we need to know what to do and when there is a tornado. Jace Coleman took a deep look into this topic.
With severe weather season right around the corner, it is good that the alert systems are there to help people know when something is happening.
Well, what's going to happen is we're going to monitor the weather throughout the day if something's coming up here at school. One of the administrators is going to, or somebody at the central office is going to be monitoring it. So we're going to kind of have an idea of what's going on. In the event that we know that we're about to have severe weather, there is a switch that we can hit over by the intercom. That will be the tornado alarm. So we can hit it early if we want to, or at the time that the tornado warning is issued, we can hit it then. And at that point, all students are to exit their room and in an orderly fashion make their way down to the safe room, which is
The most common of these alerts are the tornado sirens seen every day.
and it's no different than, we have a fire alarm there, so it's no different than us pulling that fire alarm. You just hit the switch, it's like a light switch, and that sets off the tornado sirens.
With Airwaves Media, I am Jace Coleman.
The Craft Fair and Car Show is held annually here in Alma. This year's event had craftsmen from around the region selling their goods and cool cars to enjoy looking at. Peyton Phillips and Abigail Spencer have more on this fun event.
The Alma Cars and Crafts Show was held last Saturday at the Alma Primary School. An array of homemade crafts could be bought. Part of the proceeds go into Jack Snacks program and Project Graduation.
We started doing this 2 years ago as kind of trying out a hobby. We wanted to do something different and see how it worked out. My wife is the designer. She comes up with some really great stuff, and I do the work of putting her vision onto whatever materials we want to put it on.
Paparazzi Jewelry. It is kids' jewelry, women's jewelry, and men's costume jewelry.
I make wood toys. I design, paint, and we make all of these wood toys. Everything's out of wood. My mother started doing craft shows when I was 9 years old. And she got to doing them. She makes doll dresses, that kind of stuff. But Dad put his shop in. I started working in that.
Well, first I was buying t-shirts from people and they were expensive. So I thought I can do it myself. And so I started off buying vinyl and I bought my machine and I started off making little shirts for people, and then I started off making more and more, and I thought, well, you know, I can start doing craft shows and making more money, and that's what I did.
A multitude of vehicles could be seen at the car show, including search and rescue vehicles.
Here we have our Swift water boat here. We have our drone equipment that we have down here. We fly our drones when a person is lost. It has thermals, it has night vision. We can also make an announcement letting them know that, you know, hey, stay where you are. We know we see you, we're coming.
The show is a great place to hang out with family while supporting the community and maybe winning some prizes. This has been Peyton C. Phillips
and Abigail R. Spencer
for Airwaves Media.
Car racing is a popular pastime for many people around the area, and it's no different for some of the students of Alma High. Hunter Cole and Hunter Brewer got behind the wheel to showcase this popular sport.
New season, new racers. During the season of Crawford County Speedway, there are many classes that can race at the 3/8 mile track. Those include front-wheel drive, mini stock, pure stock, Grand Nationals, A-mods, B-mods, and more. Slowest of those being front-wheel drive and the fastest being A-mods. We spoke to a couple of drivers about the new season and their careers. Driver John Cole spoke about injuries he's received, how he started racing, his home track, and more.
I got into racing with some of my friends that we grew up kind of driving around dirt roads and kind of driving fast. So I had friends that raced, and I decided I was going to build one. So we built our first car in 2001.
Where's the home racetrack?
My home racetrack is Crawford County Speedway. That's where I mainly race at every weekend, but we do travel around. We raced at Tri-State in Oklahoma. We've been to Muskogee, Oklahoma, and raced at Thunderbird. We've raced at Outlaw at Muskogee. Last year, 2 years ago, we traveled to Centerville and raced a few times. So, but yes, Crawford County Speedway is my home track. In 2002, I won probably 14 features throughout the season. Won the mid-season championship that year. Sold the car with probably 3 weeks left to go, so we didn't win the overall championship, but mid-season we did win it. Then I've won several features throughout the years over that. Since 2001 till we took last year off. Raced off and on throughout the years, but continuously from 2001 to 2006 was every weekend we was at the racetrack.
Here's Michael Whedon, a freshman here at AHS, who talks about how he got into racing and how to start racing.
Mainly my dad. My dad raced a lot of years before I did, and he inspired me to get a car and start doing it myself. It's pretty simple, really, like a front-wheel drive car. Any front-wheel drive car, typically, you strip out all the interior and put a cage in it and you can go racing.
This is Hunter Brewer and Hunter Cole with Airwaves Media.
March Madness is an event that lasts the majority of March and is a tournament that decides the best college basketball team in the country. But what is the history of this major event? Caden Daspit and Braden Peppis give more information about this topic.
March Madness is an event that lasts most of March and into April. This event is a basketball tournament that always starts with 64 teams and ends with the best one in the country. The first tournament was in 1939, and Oregon beat Ohio State to become the first champion. We spoke to a fan of basketball to see what they thought about this year's tournament.
Well, the best part of March Madness is probably the first weekend because you get huge upsets, 2 against 15, 1 and 16. It was Fairleigh Dickinson, who nobody knows where it lives at or where they're from, defeated #1 seed Purdue.
The championship was on April 3rd, and the tournament winner received the NCAA Division I Championship Trophy. In 2022, the team that won the tournament was the Kansas Jayhawks. We will all be excited for next season and to see who will win it all next year. This has been Caden Daspit and Braden Peppis with Airwaves Media.
One of the most popular events of the spring semester is coming up, and you don't want to miss it. The annual Alma Dance Show performances begin April 27th and go on through May 1st. Aiden Mills and Declan Saunders took a deeper look into this awesome event.
The dance show for this year is going to be an exhilarating show. It is about light and dark showing how they collide. We interviewed Sarah Murray about the upcoming dance show.
So our dance show that's happening at the end of April is titled Spectrum. It was originated because all of the different pieces have been inspired by either light or dark or color. So there's like a whole bunch of different like lighting aspects of the show and different props that we're using that are all inspired by light and the absence of light, and then like colors and things that happen with the lights. So
the dance show will have props to represent the light and dark elements.
I would say to expect just a lot of creativity, a lot of things that are happening on stage with light and dark, different props that we've never used before that we've been playing around with the kids. So there's like a whole bunch of different light aspects that we've brought in. We actually start getting ready for a dance show in like December, January by deciding the themes. And then we start choreographing the routines and teaching them 2 weeks before spring break. So about 6 weeks of rehearsals pretty much every night and every morning and every weekend. So.
This has been Aiden Mills and Declan Saunders with Airwaves Media.
When you take a left down Main Street away from the high school, one of the first places you'll see is T&L Barber and Style Shop, where people have been getting their haircuts for over 5 whole decades. Evan Shibley talked to Terry Fimple to get the details on his shop.
As the small businesses here in Alma have eroded away from the downtown area, one shop seems to have remained. T&L Barber and Style Shop has been in the town for 54 years and is still going strong. The shop used to be addressed at 44 West Cherry Street, but when Mr. Cherry and his late wife Louise moved into the shop more than 5 decades ago, the town didn't even have street names yet.
So nobody had an address. You just knew you just had to tell people who you were looking for.
Terry is a huge supporter of the Alma schools in all their activities, such as being head of the football booster club, manning the Little League concession stands, president of the swim team, and being on the school board for 10 years.
School it's the biggest thing in our school, in our community. That's where our heartbeat is the school.
When you look at the walls of Mr. Frimple's shop, you'll see the history of his son's accomplishments and their national championship wins. We want to thank Mr. Terry Fimple for the massive contribution to the schools and community of Alma. This is Evan Shibley with Airwaves Media. Easter Sunday was this last Sunday. It's a holiday that celebrates the resurrection of Jesus in the Christian faith. Families come together and many of the events like Easter egg hunts. But what is Easter all about? Evan Sanderson gave us more information on Easter.
Easter originated as an ancient pagan celebration of the spring equinox.
Easter means different things to different people. For people who are of the Christian religion or have a faith of some kind that stems from the Christian religion, usually it's in celebration of the life and death and burial and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Mrs. Brumley's celebrates Easter because of the death and resurrection of Jesus.
I go to church on Easter morning and then have a big Easter dinner with my family and watch my girls hunt Easter eggs.
Some things people like to do on Easter is to decorate Easter eggs, hide and go seek some Easter eggs. I'm Evan Sanderson for Airwaves Media.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Airedale. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure to follow all of our social medias at Airwaves Media. And as always, go Airedales!